Hello Internet, this is LordMaddog and I'm coming at you with a tutorial for my Souls-like template. This one's going to be all about loot. Now, there are 5 ways to obtain loot in my setup, and we're going to go over each one of them. Alright, the first one will be obtaining loot from an NPC or a kill. The second one will be obtaining loot that's specifically placed by the dev. So we'll talk about that one. Another one is chest, how you can obtain items from chest, how to set it up, merchant, how you can obtain items from the merchant, and build items, how you can obtain items from destroying build items or resource points, basically. That's what they are. All right, so let's jump right in and we'll start with the one I was talking about in the beginning. We're going to talk about retaining loot from an NPC. Now, NPCs all have their default. See, if we go here, we have this one's going to be an NPC enemy boss. But if we were to open this up and we were to go to our master AI, we will see that they all have loot, a loot table. There's unique loot table unique and loot table and just a plain regular loot table. All right, so that's also available in your spawner system right here. So loot table unique means this is the item will only ever be dropped once by that NPC. So if they obtain that item from the NPC, they'll never get that item again. So, but we're going to go for now, we're going to just talk about the loot table greatsword right here. So, I mean, loot table, the normal loot table. So first off, I would have to make sure I hit change loot table to change it on the spawner. Right here, we see I have the greatsword, BB, and you can use any item that is of a master item in here. So right now I'm just going to have it spawn its greatsword, and right now I have it 100%, but I could change that to 0.001 if I want. He'd be a mean feather, or I put it back to 100%. It means it's going to drop that greatsword 100%, and I'll go ahead and show that off real quick. I will spawn, and to actually make sure I can actually kill the creature, I need to pick up the dev armor first. So we're going to run over here, pick up the dev chest plate real quick. There we are. Now we're going to have a little bit of lag because I'm recording at 4K at the same time as doing this. So, you know how that works. Oops, I've interacted with the wrong thing here. Here we are. We're going to kill this lady here first. First swing. And we killed him. And you can see he dropped the greatsword. Right there. And it's a pretty crappy greatsword. Now if I go ahead and activate this again, it'll respawn. And he will drop the greatsword again if I kill him. There, see? And this time it's a poor greatsword. Now, if I were to hit and make it that the only chance of him dropping it would be unique, he would only drop it once. So that's that there. Now let's talk about items placed by the dev, specifically items placed by dev. So we here in the starting area, these items will change. They might not be there when you go to play. I mean, when you get the things, because I change these according to what I'm testing at the time. I'll most likely leave this here for testing right off the bat, but it may not be here. So just to let you know. Now, let's talk about them. Let's just grab right here. Right here, we'll start with this one, and I'll explain it. This one is the spawn item. This is an item spawner. If you come to the blueprint, open the blueprint area, normally you would just take it, hit Control B, find it, and we can drag and drop a spawn item in like so. And then we will select what we want to spawn and whatnot. But the other way you can do it is hit duplicate it or Alt, which would, now we have that. But if you do it this way, you're going to have to make sure to regenerate your grid, because each item needs to have its own unique GUID. So this makes it so the item doesn't spawn over and over and over again. It saves once it's spawned, it saves. All right. So that's why it needs a unique GUID. So that's just thinking transparency items getting in the way. Now let's talk about having what actual items you can spawn here. Like any other thing, you can select any item that's of the master item. So if I say, we're just going to air dash item here. This will give us the air dash skill. And I want it to have one of them out. Now, this chance right here does not do anything at the moment. It'll always spawn one item. However, if you want to make an array of items that it can possibly spawn, like I have done over here, the chance amount does matter. So we can see here, this one has a chance of spawning an accessory prim, or a gem doll, or a golden coin, or a herb, and each one of these items have a 1.00 chance of spawning. Now, what that means is it's not like a 1 to 100% chance. It is according to what every other one is in there, because it adds it all up when it goes to selecting what's spawnable. So right now these all have an equal chance of spawning. So if I were to hit play, we will see that this item here will spawn. Right here. That's the air dash item. And that makes it so I can do an air dash. Yeah. Oh, nope, actually, I have to actually unlock that if your air dash unlocked. So yeah, so it wasn't actually unlocked. But that now it is. So I can do an air dash. That's a level 1 air dash. Okay, and we come over here and we can see that it selected the herb to spawn. And I'll go ahead and look at do it again and see if it spawns a different one this time. And we can see here this time it spawned the 100 gold. Yeah, and that's how you can specifically spawn items for the player to have. You can put these little item spawners all over your map or wherever you want them. Now, another one is I'm gonna make sure I went over everything here. Yeah, I do believe I did. Oh, item level. Yeah, this here, I forgot. I almost forgot one important part. Item level. That does not affect things like skills, but it does affect stuff that has like quality. So the higher the item level, the higher the quality of the item will be. So let's see, I'm going to change this to something that has a possible quality. We're going to make it art legs. Let's see here. Base bow, base consumable, base fist. Okay, here, that'll work. Okay, now let's make it, if I make it a level 1000, it's going to have pretty much be a guaranteed epic or legendary item. So we go see over here. There, a guaranteed epic item. So, epic knuckles. If I make it a level 10, it might be a green, I think. It's not going to be a guaranteed green because this is just a percentage. So right now there is no actual level. Yep, there's a green. Yep. There is no actual levels for items. You can add one if you want them to yourself, but basically it's according to quality. A legendary item will have 7 buffs on it. Okay, that done. Let's come on over to the. Yeah, let's actually do. Did I say chest nest? It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is build items, gatherables. So if you come down here, you see that this item is a gatherable. That means when I hit it, that whatever is selected to build it, it'll select from that resource list and have a chance of spawning a quality of that item. So you see here, I have a broken item has 20% hit spawning, a rare item only 1%, and a common item has a 80% spawning. And that comes from the broken resource list. So if I select any type of wood item, it'll be one of these. So it can either be a wood shard, wood shard, or I think is it the rare one? Yes, the rare one, tough wood. So has a chance of spawning a tough wood. And same thing with we'll fly over your wheel real quick over here. This is a rock item. So if it's in my stone list, here we have all the different things that it possibly can spawn. And you see here, this is the chances of it spawning something. So it has a 10% chance of spawning a broken item, 1% of legendary, epic 5%. And these you want to kind of line. They're kind of just like the other thing. You could all put them 1, 1, 1 and it'd be equal. But you try to want to keep it around 100 so you know exactly the percentage of what they're going to be. So I have, as you see, these add up to 100. And so rare 10%, common 74%. And this is the copper item. This one does not have any other items than copper. So the only thing it can spawn is a copper ore, even though it has those percentages. And over here's a little darker, but it's hard to see. And these ones have a higher percent chance of giving more items than the broken barrels doesn't have any chance of giving a higher item. So that is how you obtain like resource items. If you build, you can have different types of build items, and we talk about build items in another tutorial. All right, that said, let's jump on over to trunks. Treasure chest. These are pretty much sort of like these, but these only have a chance of spawning one item, period, ever. All right, these ones are actually according to spawn chance. So like this one is 100. This base fist has 100% chance. This wood sword has 50% chance of spawning. This chainmail has a 50% chance of spawning. Leather pants have a 30% chance of spawning and whatnot. Now the box level is also the same as the other spawning system. If I make it a level 100, it'll actually give me XP. So you don't want to get these too high. It's like I go giving myself making this one 1,000. When I open it up, not only will everything be in it really high quality, but I'll be getting a boatload of experience. So open the chest gives experience. I just decided to do that because I like that idea. So you see there, I just gained 70. I just gained 100 and some thousand experience. And it spawned a legendary chest plate. But now I have way too much experience. I have 124,000 of experience. Yeah. Okay. So you want to watch your when you're giving levels out, because you don't want to give too much XP. All right. That said, as you've seen there, it at that time it must have spawned a fist, and I just didn't see it because those are smaller items. And we'll talk about items that there's sometimes chance. It's very small chance that items can fall through the world. But there's a very small item chance. You're going to want to sometimes... There's the fist. It didn't fall through the world. I just stepped on it. It's hard to see. You're going to probably want to make your collisions for your items a little bigger so they're not easy to miss like I missed the last one. And see there. But sometimes there is a chance they'll fall through the world, and we'll talk about in a second. Now, that is the fourth way of obtaining loot. The last way of obtaining loot or items in the world is through, obviously another way would be through quest and items and NPCs giving to you. And that's talked about in a different segment altogether. So we're going to talk about the actual merchant items. We're going to come down here in, where is the merchant? Did I actually select the merchant? Yes, I did. There. Merchant, I've offered items. Here it is. These are all the items that the merchant offers. Okay, the items, every items will already have a amount of what they cost. The merchant discount is how much the merchant will charge you for everything. Right now at 1.0 means it's going to charge you the exact amount of what it is. No, it'll cost you 2 times. Well, the default value. So if I wanted to have it 0.5, that would mean it be casting the exact amount. So these are the chances of the items spawning. So we have a 75% chance of him spawning a Excalibur, 10%. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all that, but you see exactly how these works. 90 wood, stone here, and whatnot. And then the base of percentage of how much each one has. So I'll just jump in there and I'll talk to him real quick. Run on over here.
Greatness
I'll walk straight through him. Okay. Show me what you got. Nope, it's going to take a few seconds to load up because I'm recording and because it's in editor. It loads all the items. I've tested it. It doesn't slow when actually loading it inside the game. All right, so we see here, these are all the items that I can buy from the character. I don't have any money at the moment, so it doesn't do me any good. But you can see here's the stuff you can buy. And I do believe that is actually everything for loot. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, like, shares, and comments are always welcome. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not quite right. I forgot to talk about the if an item falls through the world. We got to talk about the kill plane. I almost forgot. Shoot myself in the foot. All right. So down here, I can't quite see it at the moment. Where is it at? The kill plane. The player and items sometimes can fall through the world. That's just something that happens with Epic. And I'm just trying to find my kill plane here. I will find it. There it is. There, I selected it. Kill plane. All right. So the kill plane happens. You need to put this underneath the world, anywhere the player or items can possibly fall through. So if it falls through, if an item falls through the world, it will hit the kill plane, and then it'll spawn right at the character's feet or right about this around his waist and drop to the ground. So you don't have to worry about the items ever being lost. If the item goes through and it doesn't hit the kill plane, then you have not set your kill plane quite right. So you want to make sure you set the kill plane so it can always either kill the player if he falls through the world, or respawn the item back to where the player is at. So that's just a problem. Many games, every game I've ever played has the possibility of falling through the floor. So just make sure you have bigger areas, bigger items, so you're small. Like I had my the fist, it was kind of small to see. You want to make it a little bigger. It has a small chance of falling through the floor, but it can fall through the floor. So you want to make sure it has a bigger collision box so you can see it and interact with it. And you want to make sure that you have your kill plane in place, just in case something does fall through the world, even after you make sure you get good things going on. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, likes, shares, and comments are always welcome. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. LordMaddog, signing off.